welcome to another episode of Chatty Broads with Becca and Jess.
Ooh, it's a spooky bras.
Meanwhile, I'm just still in my bikini shirt.
Becca is still in her bikini shirt. I have put on
Roz, look at how
creepy makeup, and so
I think it looks good.
I look quite like jarring sitting next to you, I think. And then Roz, of course, is looking stunning. Roz is in the building.
Yeah, you're just looking cute. I was imagining like a whole thing, but you just came cute today.
Yeah, I'm like
spooky cute.
Kind of spooky, but like not fully committed. I'm like a teenager that's like, I want to go to Hot Topic. Like I'll buy like a couple of things, but I still have like a lot of stuff that's
like,
not from there.
You really admire goth girls like on Tumblr, but
I'm aspiring.
You're not ready to commit.
I love it. I love it.
No, I was gonna say, look at how well, I was saying this in the last episode, look at how well this bikini shirt matches my skin tone. Isn't that weird?
That really looks like your,
Décolletage?
Your décolletage, that's the word.
Décolletage?
Décolletage, you mean the thing I always forget to put my moisturizer on? Now that is that is spooky. Is one day waking up to knowing that I've put
décolletage?
a dry décolletage.
I never do that. Do you guys do moisturizer?
Oh.
In your décolletage?
Yeah.
You have to.
Okay.
That's
no clue. No clue.
you're like,
Now I'm like, oh my
We're on the
God.
same page here.
That's what everyone says, because if you're always putting on all the facial moisturizing cream and you're keeping your face looking fresh, that, you know.
Well, yeah, I think décolletage is neck too.
The neck, the neck, and then like the
neck's big.
chest a little bit to like, you know, keep it matching.
Well, I'm sure the sun tanning for hours at a time from April to August is not doing wonders for my décolletage skin either.
Same.
So.
You guys remember tanning beds?
Yeah, I still go every now and then. I know I'm not supposed to. I don't care.
I miss how comfortable, like how relaxing.
In the winter months, granted, this is Southern California, so, you know.
It's 90 degrees outside right
It's
now.
the end of October. But for me, when it goes in like rainy day 3 in Southern California, I'm battling depression and I like going and feeling warm and like encapsulated, right?
There's a horror movie. Is it?
I know.
I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Final Destination.
Yes, one of those.
It's Final Destination.
There's
during,
a tanning booth drama.
Peak tanning bed
stuck.
era, like early 2000. One of those horror. I think it's one. Whatever. The person puts a zip tie on it and turns it up.
Yeah, I know. I always think of that too.
That is truly terrifying.
Sorry, I think it was definitely me that brought this up. I apologize.
No, it's the tanning bed.
No, you're just talking about the décolletage. We brought it up.
The décolletage. Let's get back to the décolletage.
But anyway,
let's do an hour and a half about that.
You were saying though that you no longer go by. You've shed Roz Drez Velez.
Yes, I've shed it like my.
You're coming into your
coat.
final form.
Yeah, well, I mean, people could still call me that. It's just I finally changed the podcast name in June. I made like a big change to my podcast where we're still talking about spooky stuff and paranormal, all that. But now it's just Ghosted by Roz Hernandez. It's just I'm not really like doing drag anymore, and that name is just so silly and so it's such a like it's my drag name. So I'm just kind of not doing drag and just going by Roz Hernandez. So now it's Ghosted by Roz Hernandez.
Cool.
And I changed it a little bit where I'm having more comedians on and we're doing, like I do research on different paranormal topics for us to talk about. And
I'm loving the new format.
Cool.
So
yeah,
good.
Thank you. It's just trying to find people with amazing ghost stories to book every single week. I did it for 3.5 years.
Rough. That's really rough.
It is so hard. I don't know how I pulled it off. Somehow I did it, but now I'm just like, I can't.
No, that's hard.
I still want people to come on with ghost stories. So if they have one, like, come on and share it.
Sure.
But otherwise, my only rule is like, you kind of have to believe, or like, it's not fun to talk to someone that's like, that's all stupid.
Bullshit.
That's fake. Like,
no.
You can't really do anything with that.
Yeah.
So I just have on like funny people that are down to talk about things that I look up. I just researched a haunted bunk bed we were talking about. Like,
oh my
I'm finding
God, that's
some
spooky.
weird shit. I'm going like as weird as we can get with all this stuff.
Okay, I want to ask if either of you have paranormal updates. I know you do, Jess. I think maybe you do too, Roz. But I also wanted to say my paranormal update, nothing that's actually happened to me, but I just listened to a podcast clip recently. Did you know that there's an Ivy League school that since the 60s, they've been doing research on like past lives, like reincarnation, because they've done studies on these children, like 200 or 300 children who have like specific stories and dreams, and then they're able to trace them to like real people in history and not big figures. There was this one little kid who he was like 3 years old, and he was having these dreams and saying specifically like I was a fighter pilot in Iwo Jima, and people, and they're like, we haven't like talked to him about this, and then he was saying all these specific details, said what his name was, and come to find out, it took like 2 or 3 years to piece it all together. He was a super obscure pilot, not famous at all, just like one of the pilots that died in Iwo Jima. And like, it was like a very obscure, like not something that people ever talk about, but the kid had like, knew the name, all these details like about his life.
I'm obsessed with this kind of thing.
Isn't that crazy? So the researcher from this Ivy League school is like a professor and is like, it was an NPR interview and they were like, how do you explain it? And he's like, well, you have to believe that there's like more than us out there in order to even do this field of research. And that's
why I always say this as like, it's kind of a motivational speech, but I'm always like, right now we are somebody's past life in the future.
Whoa.
So what do you want them to find out when they go and they have like a past life regression?
When some 3-year-old is like, I was Rebecca Martinez.
Yes, they're gonna be like, just like you were, a princess, and you were a war hero, and you were
a podcaster.
Like, be the best. Like, you gotta build that up for that person.
That's
assuming
so
that the
true.
world will be here in 200 years.
Yeah,
be the best for
but
that.
Maybe we'll
for
be
that
on
future kid
in another dimension.
Could be.
Maybe we already were someone's past life.
Oh, we totally. Well.
My brain just went into a pretzel.
That's the stuff that freaks me out when we talk about like dimensions and
the different like layers and what is time and
I definitely have started thinking after I watched Interstellar. I started believing like that's kind of what ghost stuff is like different dimensions and like time warps interacting with each other.
You hear a lot of stories that it seems like it.
Right?
Or you hear stories of like a ghost being like, holy shit, there's humans here.
Right.
And it's like, are we the ghost to them? You know, like.
Oh my God. Listen, first of all, Interstellar to me, I'm like, is this a documentary? Because it feels like it should be. Also, when you start seeing what they're newly discovering in space, it's like, we don't know shit about time.
No.
This
do
is
I care about it? No.
But I do a little bit.
I know you posted about what was it that what was everyone posting about?
Was it the black hole
photo? No, it was like the photo of like some galaxy or something. Everyone was posting.
Unbelievable. They found all the research that's been coming out with NASA lately.
It doesn't.
The black hole was blowing my mind. Black holes, I think about often.
I mean, black holes are definitely crazy. No, it was like maybe it was a photo of a black hole. I don't know. I see that. It doesn't. It nothing within me goes, wow.
Really?
Yeah. I go. They could make this up with CGI. How do I even know it's a photo
hard.
of it?
Anything nowadays. Like, I'm always talking about like if you just like captured a ghost on camera, people would be like, big deal.
How
My toddler could make that on their phone now.
No.
You know,
is this a TikTok that you like put a little animation?
Yeah, is this some kind of filter? Like, it's hard to prove things.
You know what though? Listening to who'd we have on that was also on your podcast before?
Found Katrina Weidman through Roz.
Yeah. Portals from Hell. Best
Love
show
her.
name ever, by the way. Portals from Hell.
Portals to Hell.
Portals to Hell.
But those clips, I have to say, the ones that I've seen on YouTube, especially though after talking to her and like getting her vibe, the like genuine like terror in some of those scenes when you're seeing stuff in the background, I just feel like you can't really make that up. I don't know. Those kind of clips really do get me.
Well, especially Katrina.
Right?
Katrina, I completely trust that she's not faking any of that stuff on TV.
No,
we've talked a lot about this, she and I, and like that stuff is real that happens when they're filming.
I know.
Oh,
I was kind of taken aback by how real it was, like based on what she was saying.
Yeah.
That's some Halloween homework, is to go and listen to all the ghosted episodes with you and Katrina because they're so good.
She's awesome.
Thank you.
Spooked to like the tips of my toes.
Yeah, she's got some creepy stories.
Amazing.
She's definitely a fave over there.
so good.
Well, another one that's a fave over there, I don't know if I talked about her last time I was here, but my friend that's the exorcist.
Who? I haven't listened.
Her
I haven't
name is
listened.
R.H. Stavis, Rachel Stavis, but her she also goes by R.H. Stavis. She's incredible.
Oh, I'm gonna listen.
She like does all this stuff with demons, and she gets demons out of people. She did it to me. She's done it to people I know.
Did you have a demon?
Well, okay, so she wrote a book about it. It's called Sister of Darkness. It's a really good book. And in it, she explains the way that it works for her, where she can actually see something on a person, and there's different levels, but like...
We're getting her on before we... Yeah.
Please.
Our final
Please
episode,
get
we
her
both
on.
get
We're
exercised.
going to get her on in the next few weeks.
It's not like as crazy as it sounds.
Right.
Like little
I feel
things,
you.
just like, oh, like you're like low
Attachments,
energy.
yeah.
Just like stuff like that. She's like, oh, I'll take that. It's
Did you
almost,
feel different?
Yes. It's almost like, it's like body work, like kind of like...
sure.
you
Energy
know,
work.
Energy work.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's not what you think. It's
That
not
makes
like...
It's not
more
going to
sense
be
to me.
turns to us like
Yeah.
eyes on the back of our heads, like biting our tongues.
Yeah, walking up the wall with like
Yeah.
puke coming out of your mouth.
Dude, what if that did happen to me though? What would you do? What if on the show all of a sudden I started being like,
I mean,
like,
that's one of those moments where you're like, this is good content. I don't really want to, like, the cameras are rolling. I
don't wanna interrupt.
Yeah. Just keep doing what you're doing.
I have to look away, but I also don't want to interrupt.
Yeah.
your phone
Killing it.
It's just,
Yeah, I would love that.
oh my God.
wow, okay, so that's interesting.
Yeah, you guys should have her on. Yeah. The kind of people in my phone, like my phone contacts.
You're set.
Yes.
I love. So after she did her work on you, how long, like, did you feel like better for a while?
Yeah.
I am gonna listen, but what'd she say that was on you? I just want to hear right now.
What?
Like, what was the thing? Did she say?
Just like a low level. I was just feeling kind of depressed and stuff, and she got it out.
She's like,
she
it's
did her
just a
thing.
small little minion demon attaching
Yeah.
itself.
It was just like a cute little petite demon.
yeah.
it was just like a little like supermodel
Twirling
demon.
its hair, just being like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna suck her energy.
It was also really relaxing. She just like kind of laid me down and did her things and burned her things and said her things, and then I was just like I was like, I need a cigarette after that. Like it was like great.
Giving it to you and the little
Does
demon.
she do homes, I wonder?
Yeah.
Or she only
She
do
does
people?
it all. You got a demon, she'll get it out.
Bring her on!
But you don't
need
have
her.
a demon.
I don't think I have a demon.
But
No.
a spirit.
I had so many. I've had
Why are
so
you saying
many
had in
people.
past tense?
I shouldn't say that. It's just okay. I have one story, but I'm telling you, and this is a fact, and I swear to God, I think Roz, maybe you like exercise me every time I'm around you, because every time I speak with Roz about the spooky home, it's always like starting to get spookier, and then I see Roz and we talk, and it's quiet for like months.
Well, don't say that, because I want to have my own paranormal TV show, and I want people to think that
You
when
don't
I
wanna be the
show
calling
up,
present.
it's all the
No,
ghosts
but you
go
heal.
away.
No, you heal. You're like, I'm gonna show up. That's how you can bring
No,
them.
you
Like,
do want to
listen.
be a lord of chaos when you're walking
Yes,
into
when
like,
you're doing those
yeah.
TV shows.
or
for
you're
sure.
just like the powerful goddess where you like, okay, you want me, you're terrified in your home.
Okay.
I'm gonna come in,
Right.
observe what's going on, and then after I leave, it will be peaceful.
Yeah.
So you do like the final pièce de résistance.
Maybe.
Maybe he or she just wants to feel seen.
Maybe just acknowledged. So like they want me to talk about them.
Yeah, but you talk about them a lot.
I talk about them all the time, especially
I'm also
in my own
kind of
home.
a lot, and so I feel like maybe I come around and the demons are like, we don't
Maybe-
have the energy to like try to.
Maybe they're intimidated.
Yeah, it could be.
Honestly,
They're
maybe
like,
they're
God, she's
jealous.
so hot. We're jealous.
Well, they're
We're
probably
leaving.
like, she knows all of our secrets. Like, she's always talking on this podcast about ghosts.
They're
like, she
nothing
knows.
special.
Yeah, and they want to spook and dazzle. But
Yes.
I kind of. I don't know how to tell this story without telling the exact facts, and I kind of don't want to tell all the exact facts, but I basically was like getting real spiritual. I've been trying all different I love all different kinds of spiritualities.
Yes.
I'm into a lot of different things, and I like witchcraft, and I like
Yeah, sure.
I like to burn things that smell nice and really like meditate and have my my connections with my spirits. And I don't know if I did something wrong or if I did something right, but I did something a couple of months back where, again, this is when I was feeling like kind of low, and I was just like, I need guidance. I need more energy. Like, I want to just feel that there's, my energies are around me or whatever. And I was only looking for good. I was doing everything I read in the books and all the things, and I've talked to so many people about this stuff. I was only looking for good. And it was great. And I went hardcore. I was like tuning in, and I was whatever. So I think it was 2 nights after it happened. I'm sleeping with my dog. I hear 2 knocks in my room, and my dog got up. My dog has hearing problems. He'll be 15 next month. He got up too and was like looking around, and it was like knocks in my room. Like, it wasn't neighbor, it was in my room. And we were both just kind of like, that's crazy. And then I had this other night. It was all like within like 2 weeks. It was like, it kept happening. I had this night where I was sleeping. It was almost time for me to wake up. And I believe I heard in my ear somebody go, wake up. But it was like nice. And then.
But not like creepy nice?
No. Well, to me, anytime a voice speaks not connected to a body, it's
a little
creepy.
creepy.
Wake up.
Wake up.
That could be like really creepy, sinister
It's not like,
sweet.
it's not like the haunted
What,
mansion,
was it
like
a sinister sweet?
See, but that's my problem, is that like, I don't realize how creepy I am.
Yeah.
Like, I always do that to people. I'm always
Right.
like, hey.
Right.
And they're like, so that would be me as a ghost, where
Yeah.
I'm just like trying to be sweet.
Yeah.
But then I had a night where
Wait, what happened when you woke up? Nothing?
No, I was like, why are you telling me to wake up? Like, my
Right.
alarm didn't go. I thought maybe like something, who knows? Maybe it was stopping something from happening
Sure.
in my day.
That's kind of what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely paid attention to be like, this is going to be the day when something happens.
Car crash happens 5 cars ahead of me.
Yeah.
And if I had woken up 2 minutes later, right.
See, that's another thing. This night before I interviewed the psychic, I think this was within the past year as well. I was like sleeping, and I had the most horrific thing in my ears of a dog getting hit by a car. I'm sorry. Like, I just heard it, and I woke up and got freaked out. The next morning, I was walking my dog, and I had my earbuds in, and all of a sudden a car out of nowhere came, and we just missed it. And so I'm like, I talked to the psychic. He's like, yeah, that was like a
premonition.
It was like a be on guard.
Whoa.
Kind of a thing. So I've been like getting spiritual
You're
with this
tapping
stuff.
into your
I'm tapped in.
psychicness.
No, I'm tapped in. I had a couple of weeks ago. I sound like I'm insane.
No, not to me.
I don't
Rob's
know.
like, more.
I think this stuff happens to everyone. You just
I
don't
think
pay
so
attention
too.
to it.
I think so too. Or we write it off, right?
Yeah, we just are
All
just
the
like,
time.
oh, that was weird,
Constantly.
whatever. But I just choose to like acknowledge
Sure.
stuff all the time. But yeah, I'm tapped in. Oh, so back to my story.
Yeah.
There was a night when it felt like something crawled into my bed. Somebody. I thought I felt
I don't
it.
like that.
No, I don't like
Now,
the crawling into bed at
I
all.
am-
Crawling,
I
that's
try
not the
to
word I like
be-
to hear about with spirits.
No, I know. And I try to be like pretty open-minded, and I try not to assume everything is paranormal. So I could say I was like sleeping.
Sure.
So maybe it just felt like it in a dream or whatever. But I felt that something like that happened. And I kept like waking up like night after night, just kind of like, just like waking up. Like I felt like I was like just getting awoken. Who knows? Again, it could just be in my brain.
Yeah.
But I was trying to be like, listen, I get you're nice, but like you like, and I know I asked for this, but like, can you not like when I'm sleeping?
You're like, not in my bed.
Yeah.
That's off limits.
Weird.
Yeah. And so I kind of like pray kind of
Yeah.
every single night. And I have incorporated since then. I thank you for not scaring me at night and for not interrupting my sleep.
nice.
And it stopped.
Okay, broads, quick pause from this spookiness. So I have been obsessed with every type of pet I have had since I was a small child. I'm talking the dogs, the fish, the guinea pigs, the rabbits, the lizards, everything. I'm just a pet kind of gal. I mean, some of them you can cuddle. They greet you when you walk in the door. They don't judge you, okay? The only downside to having pets can be the smells that occasionally come with them, and one smell in particular is the litter box, okay? Necessary? Yes. But smelly? Also yes. That's why if you've got a litter box at home, you need to make the switch to Pretty Litter immediately.
Oh my goodness, out of all the cat litters we've tried, Pretty Litter keeps our house smelling the freshest. They have ultra absorbent crystals and they trap the odors instantly, and the same amount of litter works for up to a month without clumping. Like, you don't have to change the litter for like up to a month, which is crazy to me. You also just have to do less scooping there because there's less unpleasant smells. And also, they ship for free in a small, lightweight bag. I don't have to run to the store and try to find those giant tubs of litter last minute. The Pretty Litter bags are small, they're easy to store, and they last for so long.
And by the way, one of the most amazing features of Pretty Litter is the fact that thanks to their color-changing crystals, you're able to see if there is something off with your cat's health. They have been specially designed to detect early signs of potential illness, so you're going to have insight into how your cat is really feeling, and you can take the best next steps.
Get Pretty Litter today. Go to prettylitter.com/chatty. You can save 20% on your first order. That's prettylitter.com/chatty to save 20% on your first order. prettylitter.com/chatty.
Okay, broads, so listen, with the holiday season coming up and the fact that it's getting a little chilly outside, we all know that cuffing season is around the corner. A lot of people that you know are going to be getting into relationships. And if you're looking for a relationship, we all know that the Match dating app is just one of the best. But do you know what message Match has for all the single folks out there? It's that you gotta put yourself first.
So, do you? Do you? Do you actually put yourself first? Match, the dating app, is pretty hot and bothered about this topic. It is a juicy one. They believe the most important relationship is with yourself. Because in a world where you can choose to do anything, or anyone, choose yourself first. Dating someone who knows what they want and someone who won't settle for less, that is sexy as hell.
That is right. Do not settle for less than the best, what you deserve. And in this cozy season, you can take yourself to a gorgeous dinner, and then you can take yourself home. Honestly, some after-dinner reality TV drama watching is better than some conversation anyway. You know what I'm saying, okay? If that conversation isn't stimulating, stimulate yourself. And you know, since we're talking spooky here today anyway, if they're the ghosting type, be your own boo. You gotta do you. The point is, we know dating can be tough, so focus on yourself. And when you're good and ready, go ahead and give Match a try.
If you do you, you'll already know the best relationships show up when you show up for yourself first. There's never been a better time to try Match. Download the Match app today.
I've been having okay, so I don't think like our house is haunted. Like that's dramatic, but I've definitely
Attached hunters.
No, I've definitely lived in houses before, like my parents' house, where there was like a lot of stuff going on, and I felt a lot, and I was like, there is too much happening in this place. You know, there's something going on. But I don't like feel that in this house really at all. But I will say like my daughter's room is like a little weird. Like it's just, both Gray and I both admit, like it's not like there's nothing intense feeling, but like it is. Let's just put it this way. You've done the same thing. You put him to bed. You're like, there's no monsters, and then you kind of like run out of the room. Kind of
You're like, I don't like this feeling in here. Yeah.
That's why I will never have children. I don't know how you guys do this.
Not the
If
monsters.
somebody told me that there's a monster under the bed, I say, good luck. I would lock the door from the outside.
Well, you know, people do that a lot. Like when I was saying that my daughter was getting out of her crib, they were like, oh, you don't lock her door? Like that's like what I got a lot of messages of people saying that. No, a lot of people lock their kids into their room.
That's what I was said. I'm not fit to have. I can't even have a ghost in my house. Like I can't have a child.
Yeah,
It's like the ghost.
Well, granted, a lot
You're
of people
taking
have-
up too much of my time.
granted, a lot of people have monitors, so I guess like it's not that big of a
Those
deal.
are terrifying. Some of the footage you see on those things.
Yeah, I still have a monitor. My daughter's almost 7 and I have a monitor. And those monitors are the scariest things on the
I've
planet.
actually never used a monitor for either kid.
Terrifying.
We live in like
a small enough house where I'll hear them if something's happening. But anyway, so we both just get kind of like sort of a weird vibe. The closet has a window in it, which we thought was weird. Except when we go into any other Craftsman's, they all have them. So I think Gray was like, they probably just needed light to see in the closet. Like, but like
what are
all
you thinking?
closets in
That
the
they locked
Craftsman's.
people in there? Because listen, if you're the type of person that would lock someone in a closet, you're not going to be nice enough to be like, but I want them to see out.
And it's all the Craftsman's too. They all have like windows in the small. Me too.
I don't go locking in the closet. I go like, it used to be different. And they made it into a
That's
closet.
what I thought,
And
too.
what was it there before?
That's
you know
what I
what
thought,
happened in
too.
that corner?
But there's 2 closets in the house, and they both have windows, and like literally all of the houses on the street are like the exact same house, and they all have the same windows in the closet. So it's just like an old thing. Ooh. Okay. But that's the thing. He was like, oh, maybe it's because of the weird window in the closet. But I was like, we have a window in our closet, which is now a bathroom, granted. But anyway, so things are a little weird with that. But I'm now thinking, if you talking about that person, I'm like, maybe I'll have her come to our house. I'll make a TikTok of it.
Look her up. Her Instagram is just RH Davis, and she's often posting like, if you want an entity removal, like she's very busy, but she
Fabulous.
can
I'll plug her too.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Do a collab.
Totally, you
An
totally
exorcism
should.
collab.
And also, I'm working with her on a project right now, the 2 of us,
fun.
that we'll be
Really?
announcing soon.
Oh my
Ooh,
God. I'm so
exciting.
excited.
Oh, fabulous. Okay, so anyway, that's what's been going on with you. Jess, what's your house update?
Well, I might need an exorcism in the house.
Stop. What's been going on?
It's actually after we recorded together, Roz, when I was on Ghosted. It had been quiet, and it had started to ramp up again, and Evan and I were both feeling tense, but it was quiet for then like the past 2 months, and then I had a situation like 2-3 weeks ago where I've been dealing with some bouts of insomnia most every night. And so one of these nights, and so then I'm having 2 thoughts. Number one, am I like imagining this because I'm not sleeping and I'm just overtired. It's too late. But I was in our living room and it was about 3:30 in the morning, and I had like all the lights on and I was just sitting there doing whatever. And all of a sudden I just felt kind of weird. Like I just got like a weird feeling, it's just the feeling. And then we have a little, like next to our fireplace, we have a couple shelves, and the like box of sage that we have, or like Palo Santo, excuse me, just like randomly like tipped over, and nothing's ever moved on that. And so that was kind of like, oh, and it was right across from me, and it kind of jarred me because I was feeling a little weird. And then all of a sudden I hear the sound of like water or liquid spilling everywhere.
What? That's
and I'm
weird.
like, and it's like kind of the witching hour.
Red
It's
rum,
that
red rum.
Yeah. It's that like 3:30 in the morning, 4 in the morning. Like they say that's like the weird time.
You were awake? You're having a hard time
insomnia.
sleeping, yeah.
It's been bad. So I'm like, am I imagining it? I'm like, I hear all this water spilling everywhere, and I'm like, what the heck? And I kind of like look around, and I'm like, there's the sink's not
That
on,
sounds
whatever.
close to you.
It sounds pretty close to me.
I remember you telling me about like hearing people talking in the room, but like that's so weird.
Water spilling.
So I
That's
hear
such an interesting.
water spilling everywhere, and of course, because I'm feeling a little like weird energy, I'm just imagining like this is the moment in the scary movie. We've been getting haunted for the past like 3 years, and this is the moment where we found out someone was like drowned, and it's scary, and water spilling everywhere, like something like that. And I'm quiet, and I don't hear anything, and then I hear more water spilling, and I'm like, fuck.
What the fuck?
And my heart rate.
When you say water spilling, does it sound like someone pouring a pitcher on the floor, or does it sound like I'm kind of curious?
Like if
in
I
your
was-
mind, if you imagined what it was, what did it sound like to you?
Well, I was again picturing like a tub overflowing.
Okay, sure.
But it was like if I were to take this can of sparkling water and like slowly pour it on like a hard floor, that's what it sounded like.
Creepy.
So then I hear
That's
it again,
crazy.
and I'm like, my heart rate is like elevated because again, I just keep picturing then like this the finale for the horror movie. I was like, this is it. Evan's sleeping, Ember's sleeping.
And you're
I've
gonna
had
like drown
insomnia.
in your living room with no
and I'm
water or
like, no one's
something.
gonna whatever. And so then I go into the kitchen and I'm like checking all of the sinks. I check the sink in the kitchen. There's no leaking. There's nothing. And then I go in my bathroom. There's nothing. And then I go back in the kitchen. and I hear the sound of the water, and I'm like, and it's way louder, and I hear it, and I turn, and my stupid ass.
Okay. I thought this was the spirits. You had me.
I know, and then my stupid ass, my broken refrigerator, all the ice had melted and was pouring out of you know how the water dispenser, it just kept pouring, and it was like full flooding on there. Like there was tons of water. It wasn't a big deal, but like it had just kept pouring out water as the ice was melting.
But why do you say your stupid ass?
Because I was like, I'm gonna die tonight.
Yeah, because you thought someone was drowning.
But was that paranormal, or have you been having fridge problems?
We were having, it got fixed. I don't know.
It did
why.
also happen at that specific time, which is kind of
It's
weird.
true.
So it could
I'm
be
counting
both.
it.
Okay, but I mean, I will tell you, the floor was soaked.
And you had a weird feeling before it happened.
Yeah, and then something else
Well, and
knocked
the
over.
sage
For sure.
thing, or the
Palo Santo.
That
But I was
weird.
like, this is the night I die. Like, it was like, that was the feeling I had. And I was closing all the window, like the blinds. I was like, there is something in here, and I'm hearing the water, and I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen. And then I was like, oh, the ice machine. I wrote it off, but I guess
that's still
now
spooky to
I'll
me.
No, I mean,
I'll
that's
accept it.
It's also a chain of like events, right?
Yeah, I didn't
part of a
like
chain of
it.
events.
And then I was cleaning, and then I did feel a little freaked out when I was cleaning it up, like there was something behind me. You know what I mean? But that was also,
Yes.
again, me imagining the horror movie that there's someone standing behind me as I clean up the water.
it's so hard. Like all I do is talk about ghosts all day. I watch horror movies. Like it's hard for me to know when it's real or if it's just in my head.
I'm going to run and get a tissue real quick.
Yes, go. No, that's what I think about you often. I think
about you
I think of you
often.
often.
Why don't we ever hang out?
I don't know. Can we start hanging out now? I'm like, the podcast is coming to a close and I need to see you. But I think of you often because I love a horror movie. Mm-hmm. But I will say, after I watch, like for instance, I just watched on Netflix The Watcher, that series.
Me too. I just finished it last night.
How good was that?
It was good, but I like the real story.
Okay, the actual story itself is
The actual story is so scary.
creepy.
And so The Watcher,
The
have you seen
Watcher
that?
on Netflix?
No, is it about a doll?
No. No, it's like inspired by.
Oh, I looked up the Rotten Tomatoes and decided not to watch it.
Yeah, well, like
I would highly suggest this.
I was really into that story, the real story.
I had never heard of it.
And so like when I heard that there was going to be a TV show about it, I was like really excited, but it's never been solved. So I'm like, how is this going to go? But they fictionalized like a lot of it.
Okay.
So it's still a fun thing to watch. It's still spooky and mysterious, but the real one, it's like a real thing that happened. These people were getting these terrifying letters in the mail.
From their neighborhood, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had
weird.
never heard of that story. So when I
never heard of it
watched The
either.
Watcher, Evan and I like binged it over this last weekend. We had a weekend alone together and we literally were just binging this show because it was, we both of us had never heard of the story. And as soon as it was like inspired by a true story, you know, I'm locked in.
Yeah,
Spooky.
but I mean, based on a true story, like
I know it's like
I
how
have-
much?
Yeah, my wigs are based on a true story. You know, like
Still highly fictionalized.
yeah.
But I think about you a lot because I'm like, oh my God, you are, when I love watching a horror movie, but as soon as I do, I'm always 10 times more scared in my house
Course.
and thinking about my ghosties, and all of a sudden I get more creeped out. I'm like, oh, if I was having weekly convos with people, if I were you, I would
probably
would be
always
constantly.
feel a little spooked.
Yes. I've gotten better at it because it's now been almost 4 years that I've been doing this every single week. And so I think I've gotten definitely more skeptical.
Okay.
That's one thing for sure, where I'm just a little bit more objective and just, you know, like I said, I don't jump to the conclusion that everything is paranormal, but who knows? That's why
But
it's
maybe
so fun.
everything is paranormal,
Right, and that's why I
Like,
say, like, if you see a scary movie and then you go home and you're like freaked out, some people will tell you that bad energies are looking for fear.
Sure.
So maybe the fact that you're already fearful could be like, ooh,
yeah.
Yeah.
delicious.
What a perfect time to stay.
Yes. But then, but it's like a weird reverse psychology or something where you're like, no, this isn't real because I just saw a scary movie, so this isn't really happening, but maybe it is.
Interesting. I've never actually even, I never thought about that. Good point.
Oh, I've spent hours thinking about all this shit.
Talking about it, like hundreds of hours. Okay. We, though, have each found, we both found actually like haunted places that we want to talk about. And I'm interested if you've heard of either of them. Do you want to start with yours or should I? You start with yours because I have like tangents that come off of mine.
Okay, gotcha.
Go for yours.
All right, so disclaimer, first of all, I'm assuming you'll probably know about this, Roz, because this is quite famous, but it was something I had never heard of.
First of all, not all of us famous people know each other. You're just assuming since I'm very famous that I would know this.
Like 7 degrees of. But disclaimer being this, got a lot of my info from a bunch of random places.
That's the only place you can ever find anything.
I'm talking TripAdvisor, I'm talking random articles, I'm talking Reddit, all sorts of things. Some is legend, some is true. So we'll mix this all together. So, wanting to talk about the Hoya Baciu Forest, which is...
Does it ring a bell?
Yeah. Yes.
It is considered to be the most haunted forest in the entire world, and it's in Romania near Transylvania.
Yes, this is on my list of things to cover on my show.
Okay.
I didn't even know Transylvania was a real place until pretty recently.
Really?
Yeah. I thought that was like a made-up place where vampires live.
It's very real. It's very real. Now, this forest... it's referred to as the Bermuda Triangle of Romania because a lot of people say that if you go in, you don't come out.
Ooh,
so that's
creepy.
why they have the reference to Bermuda Triangle. It got its name from the legend of a shepherd. And the legend has it that this was a long time ago, that this shepherd boy went into the forest with 200 of his sheep and he never came out. And the forest is not that big. So they never found him and he never came out. And then the townsfolk never seen again.
They never saw the sheep again?
No, but what I will tell you is I have seen YouTube footage where you see sheep bones and such scattered around the ground in this forest.
Whoa.
Oh, hell no.
So, but of course there are, there's animals there, right? They say that there's a large population of like wolves and bears in Transylvania.
Also, by the way, if the shepherd died, the shepherd's whole job is to protect the sheep. So maybe like if the shepherd died accidentally, then the whole flock would also die.
Think about 200. 200 sheep.
That's a lot of sheep.
A couple would wander out. How big is it? Like, how are we talking when we say not that big?
I'll give you
the acreage
I'll give
here?
you the acreage in a moment, but it's not, it's considering that that people go in and don't come out. It's not that big of a forest. So that's where the name came from. And after that, the townspeople were like, and even to this day, apparently the local folk who live around are like, you don't go in there. Like, this is not something that we fuck with. Okay. So this is interesting though, too. It's the actual grounds of the forest are one of the oldest settlements, like, in the area at all.
Whoa.
So scientists found like in the dirt and everything that was like, oh no, there was settlements here in around 6500 BC.
Whoa.
So this is old. People have been wandering in that exact area for a long time.
But these scientists made it out?
The scientists made it out, and there are people who go in all the time and come out.
Okay.
I would come out.
But a lot of people don't go there at night. That's one of the big caveats is you don't go at night. But I've watched some YouTube footage of it, and it is truly terrifying.
Okay.
Road trip.
Road trip to Romania.
Road trip. Have you been?
We're driving to Romania.
You haven't been to Romania?
Albania.
Okay.
One of the other biggest like lores that really started this back in the day was that legend has it there was this 5-year-old girl who went into the forest at nighttime, and
Where were her parents?
And did not come out.
That seems.
And then 5 years later, that little girl emerged from the forest, untouched garments, hadn't aged, and didn't remember.
She didn't age?
Didn't age and doesn't remember anything that happened.
When was this legend to have happened?
This one was many, many years ago.
Okay, yeah.
But that's kind of what started this idea that there's some sort of time continuum in
Whoa.
this space.
I thought you were going to say she came out like she was raised by sheep for the past like 5
200
years.
sheep.
She was a shepherd.
Yeah, she was like a sheep
She
girl
became
now.
the shepherd. No, she did not age. And so that's where this legend came out, that it's like there is some time-space continuum in this forest. And what's interesting about this forest, too, is that there is a place in the center called the Dead Zone. And it is this large circle where no foliage grows.
I'm Googling to see
I don't like
photos.
that.
No foliage is growing minus like some grass, where there's trees, just thick trees everywhere else. But this exact circle, there's no trees. What's also interesting is the trees from this exact forest are very, weird shaped, like spiral, tight spiral.
Like all of these weird like
Those are the
curves.
trees?
Yes.
What the fuck?
But they also, they're those
Wait,
type-
let me see that again.
There's
Those trees look like they have juicy asses.
Yeah,
got
big
some,
booties.
They've got some hot ass S-shaped trees, but they're also these twisted types of trees that they say all go in this clockwise like direction.
Weird.
And again, it's something that
Terrifying.
it's something that
Weird.
scientists have looked into, and they can't quite figure out why was it like did this come from some sort of storm however long ago, then the trees started growing this way. People, they don't really know why. They can't quite place it.
Weird.
And then, okay, so there's the dead zone with the no foliage. And then in the 1960s, there was a gentleman, I believe his name was Andrew, I forget his last name, but he spotted a UFO and got a photo right hovering over the
Really?
dead zone.
People are getting abducted.
Perhaps. And then in the 1960s, there was, I believe, like a military mechanic and his girlfriend who got another photo. In the 1970s, then 10 years later, got another photo.
Interesting.
And these photos they tested them and all this. Obviously, we're talking about the 60s and 70s too, where there's not like the Photoshop element. And they're like, we don't know how to explain this.
Weird.
And they are pretty clear, good photos hovering over this dead zone. And since then, there have been hundreds of UFO sightings right over that specific forest.
Weird.
And also orbs of light constantly over the dead zone.
Weird.
Now,
What?
this is a little trippy.
Okay.
Okay.
A lot of people report that when they go into the forest, they come out with burns, rashes, vomiting and nausea.
Right.
So, of course, there's some people who say, is this some weird time space thing? Or is it like, what is there what's going
Right.
on in this
Yeah,
place?
maybe there's like some weird gas being let off by
Yeah.
the
Right.
trees that
That's what
twisty
they've talked
trees.
about too, is like, is there some strange gas? And then people are also having these, wild images of seeing certain things because people have
Right.
then reported
Tripping out.
seeing glowing eyes everywhere, hearing laughing, feeling like
Weird.
delusional. So who knows if there's like if there's
Interesting.
toxicness in the air or anything like that.
That place is toxic.
The
Weird.
place is toxic.
This is just like Bigfoot. If I didn't hate the great outdoors, I would
be
solve
there.
this.
I would go in. I would go
solve this.
in.
I believe I would, but I don't want to deal with like bugs and stuff.
This is something interesting as well. In a lot of the stories that I've found where people actually like via YouTube,
Yeah.
they went at nighttime to go and they have footage of being there at nighttime or, stories that people have written since going there.
Wow, this clearing is weird, by the way,
It's
too. And
very-
there's like a weird like pocket. It does seem like there's some sort of
It's strange, and that's exactly where the UFOs always hover over. Maybe the UFOs leave some toxic chemicals after they depart from us.
maybe they just probe people or take them.
Well, now when people have gone, like I said, with the YouTube, or then
They could be in any forest, though.
that's true, commented about it later via story. What I was noticing is a lot of people have a similar situation where when they're out at nighttime there with like maybe a group of friends or YouTubers exploring the forest, a lot of them will run into other people, like another group or two people while they're there, like walk by them in the dark of the night and kind of be like, oh my gosh, there's other people. But they all talk about how the other people never acknowledge that they're there.
Interesting.
And I noticed that in a bunch of the different like accounts of, and I'm talking about being there recently, not like the old. This is like
Do they
current.
look like current people?
Yeah, I'm curious about that.
Most of them said they either didn't describe the people or they said, I literally can't even, like, I remember leaving and thinking, I can't even now picture how that person was dressed or like what they looked like. But we walked by that group of people and thought, oh, they didn't even look in our direction or like interact with us. And when you're in the forest in the middle of the night, you're like, you're going to acknowledge a group of people walking by you. So you're like, is this some weird, again, time continuum where there's people walking by, but like in another dimension. So they look kind of maybe a little ghosty. So there's lots of
I've said this
lore.
before. If you're in the woods and you see another person, that is danger.
Oh, get out of there.
You never want to see another person in the woods.
Unless you're hiking.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But if you're like out in the middle of nowhere and you see a human being, that is so scary.
It's weird.
I remember seeing one person, I believe it was on Reddit, who wrote something about how when they were there, this is more recent, with friends in the forest in the night, that there were these people that they walked by and there was a dog that was with the people. And the dog kind of turned and started walking towards them. And the people didn't even turn around to like acknowledge that their dog was not following them. And they all thought it was strange. Like if your dog's not following you, or you're going to turn when your dog starts walking in a different direction. And again, you wonder, you're like, animals sense something. If there's some weird time where the dog can smell that there's someone there, but like those people don't see you and you're passing or something like that.
I don't like this.
Trippy.
So that's like, now what I will say is so interesting about this is they say that this is the most haunted forest and there's actually not a ton on it. Like I had to really do some like, again, random serious digging to try to find anything about it. So now I am intrigued.
There might just not be a lot written in English also, since it is in another country.
True.
Another
Very
language.
true. But yeah, the locals are like, don't go in there.
Whoa.
Do not go in there.
But that makes me wanna.
I know.
Okay, this place, I actually am going to go to it, I think. It's called the Island of the Dolls. Have you heard of this?
In Mexico, right?
Yes. It's like just south of Mexico City. Been wanting to go spend some time in Mexico City. Okay. It's a small island. It's actually technically not an island. It's a floating garden in these canals. Okay, here's the story behind it. There's this guy who was the caretaker of the island. His name was Don Julian Santana Barrera. He was the caretaker of the island. He found a little girl, supposedly, this is what he said. He found a little girl drowned in mysterious circumstances and he wasn't able to save her life. And then shortly after that, he saw a floating doll near the canal. Probably the doll belonged to the girl. So he hung it in a tree as a way of showing respect for the spirit of the girl. People question if there was even the existence of the drowned girl in the first place. You know, did he make this up? But he was apparently haunted by the spirit of the girl and started hanging more dolls in an attempt to please her spirit. Then he felt that the dolls
She's
themselves...
like, more!
Then
It turns into the American Girl doll store at the Grove.
You're speaking my... So I have recently become obsessed... Well, I mean, I've always been obsessed with American Girl, but I am now... I just changed my TikTok bio as I am an aspiring American Girl doll collector.
Stop. That's always... I've never been to the one at the Grove.
Me
but
neither.
I always try to get people on Tinder to do my first date with me at the restaurant at the American Girl
That
doll
is
I would be
so
so... If someone said that
funny.
to me, I'd be like, propose to
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
now.
they
I guess
usually
we're
just
married
run.
now.
I think that's a great date idea. But anyway,
God,
yeah,
that store's
I'm
amazing.
really obsessed with their, like, the original historical dolls and their furniture, mostly their furniture and accessories, because they're, like, amazing. And also they're so... Okay, Mattel bought out the Pleasant Company, who started American Girl in 1998. So everything pre-Mattel especially is, like, very high quality stuff. I just did my first unboxing on TikTok yesterday. Everyone loved it. So I'm now this is going to be my new career pivot. I'm excited.
Since I met you, you've talked about American Girl dolls. Like this is a deep passion that's really coming forward.
Dude, my sister and I are both obsessed because I just have to go on a quick tangent. The historical stories and the way that because I read all the books, it was just such a wonderful way to like teach little girls about history and and also like have some high quality expensive ass toys. So anyway,
I'm trying to see if there's any haunted American Girl dolls on eBay right now.
Well, that's okay. So I want to read some listings for some haunted dolls, by the way.
Okay.
Because this is right up your alley.
Like,
not for American Girl,
my favorite.
But so yeah, I could have been the spirit that it would have been like, no, those aren't the right dolls. I need American. They must be the $98 dolls.
Those are not Prematel.
So he kept hanging up more and more dolls. But according to those close to him, it was as if Julian was driven by an unseen force that completely changed him. So who knows? He felt that he was very marked by the fact he was not able to save the little girl's life. And dude, guys, this part is weird. After 50 years of collecting the dolls and hanging them on the island, he was found dead, drowned in the same spot where he claimed the little girl was. It's a little weird, right?
And after 50 years?
Yes. So you could go visit there. He died in 2001.
Oh,
and
this
and
is
visitors bring more
ago.
dolls. So maybe I should bring an American Girl doll and go put it on a tree there as an offering to Julian.
I'm kind of shaken up that it's in 2001. I was expecting this to be like...
No, you want to see pictures? This is him.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he just died in 2001.
Aww.
Drowned in the same place? That's weird. Whoa. And by the way, I would have said that maybe he went a little cuckoo and, maybe he was like, I'm going to join her fate. But also, like, I'm assuming if he lived on an island, he knew where to swim and how to swim. So I don't think you can really
Yeah, it's mysterious.
Right? Weird.
Well, and again, also after 50 years of doing this.
It kind of reminds me of the Winchester Mystery House story.
I know, which I still haven't been to. We've talked about it, actually, I think, having you on before. Basically, for people who don't know what it is, this woman felt like she was being followed by an evil spirit, and she had a bunch of, the spirits of the deceased from the Winchester rifle. Yeah. Which her husband started the company. So she just kept building a house with fake doors and fake staircases leading to nowhere. And have you guys ever been?
I've been, yeah.
Was it actually fun to go to?
It was fun to go to, but it's not what I thought. I thought they would just like open the doors and be like, have fun. Right. But it's like
super guided
tour.
Yeah.
You're like, let me explore.
Yeah. We get lost in it.
Yeah.
But was it pretty big?
Yeah, it's pretty big. You could spend like an hour there.
Yeah.
Best gift shop I've ever seen.
Really?
Oh my God. I have a Winchester Mystery House mug and magnets and a shirt. They got it all.
Nice.
Yeah.
You've been?
No, I haven't been.
Go. It's like not that.
But I also like when you say like not as far as tours go, I'm like I want to be able to explore. But then at the same time, I'm like, again, this is how the horror movies start. Is like I start exploring something on my own, and then I get locked in the basement, and they shut the lights off, and they don't hear me yelling.
Ew.
As the tour ends.
Ew. See, the thing about the Island of the Dolls, I'm going to go. Next time I go to Mexico City, I'm going to make sure to go and visit it. It definitely looks very creepy, but it also looks, to me, maybe it's just my aesthetic sensibilities. It's a little like charming in a weird way.
I think it's cute.
Right?
I like dolls.
It's like kind of tropical too. Like it's not like a ugly forest. Like it's kind of a cute tropical island that has a bunch of creepy dolls hanging everywhere.
Well, there's an island that's covered in snakes, and
but
that's
I don't want to
my
go
worst
there.
nightmare.
It's covered in snakes.
Like there's just like thousands of snakes on this one island.
Weird.
That's my nightmare. Dolls, I'm fine with.
You know what? I'm just honestly, you know what? I would just honestly feel sad for the dolls because these like sweet little baby dolls are getting hung and like left there to rot.
Here's what you should do.
And that makes me feel sad.
You should go and take one back home with you.
I will absolutely not be doing that.
Save it and see what happens.
No, that's a haunted
doing
doll.
That. I won't be doing that. Now, do you guys want to read some eBay listings that I found?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I found this girl.
This is Roz through and through.
This is my favorite thing in the world.
Have you bought any?
Absolutely never.
After reading some of these listings, to be honest, like I'm not going to. I don't need to bring a haunted doll in my house, but like after some of these descriptions, like I am so tempted.
Yeah.
If I didn't have my
I offered to buy them for people, but pretty much nobody ever There was like one time somebody was like, okay, and then I went to like go buy it and somebody already bought it.
So this seller, her name's Abigail's Dolls, and the like description titles, you know, here are some. Tell me which one you guys want to hear first. I'm gonna read you 3.
Okay.
Haunted doll, spirit of Cindy, sweet, child, loving, needy, very active. Haunted doll, spirit of Wanda, child, deceptive, trickster, active.
That one.
Yeah.
What? No. Listen to the last one. Haunted doll, spirit of Yinka, mean, scary, Russian speaking, very active.
I think I want Wanda.
Let's go Wanda
Wanda.
Because the other
first.
thing with these stories too is that a lot of times there's always, it gets real dark. It'll be like,
No, that's literally Wanda's. It's actually like kind of so dark I'm going to omit some of it. But
yeah.
This is the thing though. This woman has sold 40 dolls and she has all 5-star reviews.
She's about to sell
And
more.
I clicked, right?
I know.
Today's
Bronze, you know
episode
what
is
to do.
brought to you by Abigail's Dolls. Would you like a doll that's a child?
If someone DMs me and says, I'll buy someone one of these dolls, they're reasonably priced to me. If someone wants one, I'll buy it, but I will need like updates. You're going to have to commit. You're going to sign a contract where you're going to give me monthly updates for a year.
Speaking of monitors, you're going to have to put a nanny cam on that doll 24/7 that I can watch it.
I will though. I'm serious. If
yes.
someone will commit to updating us
Promo
regularly.
code Becca at checkout. Wait, it's
Okay.
How much are we talking for Wanda?
Okay, Wanda, for instance, is $35.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm very familiar with the
They're
market.
different prices, though.
That's pretty good.
They're different prices.
Oh, there's some. I sometimes go and under like the filter settings.
Yeah.
I see like the most expensive. I've seen them like 25,000.
That's ridiculous. Dude, but some people's reviews, like, it's kind of weird. Let's see. Ivy is wonderful. I have learned she doesn't like being filmed. She loves Cammie as a big sister. I'm so happy that Celine joined the family. I love them. They're really helping me work through my parental side I needed to face about myself. That's a real review. Here's another real
spooky.
review. My doll's so beautiful. She's already communicating with me. She'll open and shut her eyes for answers. She's perfect and fits right in my little spirit family. Thank
Nope.
you so much.
Nope.
That's the thing. A lot of people that either
Nope.
buy these or sell these, it's not like a one-time thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. This person said shipped quickly. No activity yet, but it's only been a few days. I have had spirits take months to show. Thank you. She's gorgeous.
I mean,
Friendly service. This is a dream walking spirit. That's what someone's review says.
what does a dream walking
I know all about
spirit
that.
mean?
No
Wait, you
thanks.
do?
That freaks me out.
What does that mean?
They're going to
It's
show
like-
up in your dreams.
Yeah, it's the ability to show up in people's dreams, which people, like living people, can apparently learn how to do that. It's like a psychic
What?
thing.
Oh, God, I'm getting chills. This person said, too, he's an amazing little spirit. Thank you, A+ seller. This person said, just received her, just put her on a shelf to help her adjust to her new home and get to know the others.
From what these people report, it's typically not like Chucky. It's not like the
Right.
doll gets up and is walking
Well,
around.
look,
It's
her-
like a spirit is attached to the doll and it's moving things around or it's talking.
Well, her
or it's,
descriptions are very clear about that. She said, I noticed in some of her descriptions, she said, this doll does not talk. It will not verbally like communicate to you. You will not hear it. You'll just see it's a watcher. Talk about the watcher. So, okay, this one's weird with Wanda's. Good call,
Wanda.
you guys. Hold on.
Not Wanda.
This little one acts and appears as if she's a child, but I don't fully believe that she is.
Ooh.
She's very vague about her background before she passed and has barely even told me her name. I believe she's a grown man posing as a child spirit. I've come across this before and immediately knew. I've had her for years, but I'm still uncertain, and I want to be certain before I call her out. I don't want to upset her and ruin our relationship.
All right, Wanda. What, does Wanda have a last name?
Nope. Just the spirit of Wanda.
Wanda Hancha.
Wanda.
Wanda Hancha.
You guys want to hear from Yinka or Cindy?
Yeah,
next?
I'm just gonna be real with you. Like,
Hauncha.
I feel like, you know, I would welcome a haunted doll into my home.
You would?
Okay, get it. $35. Let's
ordering.
go. That was easy.
If no. If it was a happy
Well, no,
doll.
she has.
But Wanda is
Hold
going to
on.
be a hard
No.
pass for me.
Okay, then what about this?
That's a
What
no.
about this one? Haunted doll, spirit of Clara, peaceful, sweet, kind. Do you want me to read that description?
Yeah.
Let's read Clara.
Let's read Clara.
but you mean to tell me Clara never gets in a
Relaxing,
bad mood?
Very active. Listen, let's read your description.
Well, very okay. The very
This sweet, let's listen. This sweet spirit's Clara. She's so sweet and such a peaceful soul to have around. She doesn't say much. She just gives one-word answers here and there. Ask her anything you want, but just know she gets tired easily and doesn't like to talk very much. She's very relaxing to be around. I've even carried her with me when I need some extra peaceful energy around me. She's a soothing spirit and likes to calm you down when you need her. Never be afraid to ask her for that. She died as a grown woman, but never got to have children. She was never married. All she ever wanted was to have a baby of her own. I'm not sure how she passed, as she doesn't talk very much. She's a huge comforter to anyone who gives her love and attention.
Now, this is my only question. Yeah, I have a few questions about Clara.
She's cute. You want to see her?
Yeah, let's see Clara.
Oh, Clara is very cute.
You got the messy bangs. I
Yeah.
love it.
Now, these
cute.
are my questions about Clara. You know, the very active. Okay, maybe I could deal with that. Now,
It maybe means active energy. Like I think she's talking about the activation
Sure.
of the energy.
Lots of activity.
Because she's saying she's very peaceful, so I think that means like she's got a big presence.
my final question, and please, if you could clarify this, Roz, with all of your doll. Could you
Clarify.
clarify this about
That's
Clara?
Clara's last name. Phi.
I think you need
Clarify.
Cindy. I think you need to adopt Cindy and Clara together. I'll read Cindy's in a minute.
But I feel like you would probably know this because of all of your doll expertise.
Yes.
When they say Clara gives one-word answers, are these doll sellers, are they saying that these dolls speak to them, or is this just like a feeling that they have?
I think usually it's based on doing Ouija boards or
Okay.
some
This lady
type of
said she'll hear
EM.
them whisper. Like certain ones, she said you'll hear
Oh,
them
okay.
whispering. She's very particular about that. She says some are talkative and you will hear them muttering or whispering.
Wow.
Straight up.
Then there's
That's
other
what
ones
she
who are just doing
claims.
Ouija boards
Or like
and
the
are like,
spirit box. Remember when I brought that over here?
Yes.
Like that's probably what they're doing.
Like the one lady said, or the one reviewer
Alvin.
said, the blinking is for yes and no, you know?
That too. Yeah.
Okay, you need to adopt Clara and Cindy together. Because
Okay.
look, here's little Cindy. She makes my heart melt. She died as a sweet little 6-year-old. She deserves so much more out of her life. She's here with me, and that brings me joy. I know it really hurts her to try to remember. She loved her parents very much and hated leaving them like that. She's a sweet and kind girl, loves to be in her busy room with other sweet spirits or just a high traffic area. She likes to come in constant contact with people or even animals. She'll manifest herself in order to play, but is frightened very easily. So if you happen to see her out, try not to get too excited, as your change in energy will scare her. She will probably just try playing with someone or an animal that's around.
I'll do Cindy. I can do Cindy.
What about this? I neglected her for a few days after I first got her, and she threw herself off a shelf and broke her leg, as you can see in one of the pictures.
Because she neglected her. That's
How am I supposed to take care of the
That's a
dolls?
lot.
How do I pay attention
Keep her
to
in
the
a high
dolls?
energy area.
Well, I don't feel like I feel comfortable.
How about you just carry her around everywhere? Take her to the
I'll
grocery
just start
store.
wigging-
In a purse, a haunted doll purse. No,
Yeah.
I think that if she is in, she said
A
she likes to be with
Bjorn.
other spirits. Put together Cindy and Clara, who always want to be a mother. Cindy loved her parents, misses them. Clara always
this is
wanted
your
to be
future
a mom.
is doll matchmaking,
Yeah,
haunted
yeah.
doll matchmaking.
Honestly, I can think of no greater profession. And what about, okay, there's also Glenda, serene, easy. Easy. We don't want anyone throwing themselves off shelves if they're getting neglected.
No.
Serene, easy. Beginner spirit.
Oh,
This is what we
that's
need.
nice.
we're starters.
Glenna.
Yes.
Glenna says she says about Glenna, she's a very easy girl to have around. She's a sweet girl, loves anyone and everyone. Her energy is very calming. She isn't very talkative. She's a calm girl that doesn't really throw information at you either. You could try communicating with her. You can learn what to look out for when talking to spirits. Can I buy this one for you?
Well, there's also the thing that you're leaving out that it always says, like, legally, eBay does not.
That's what she says. eBay requires I add the policy on purchasing paranormal objects, which is eBay forbids the sale of intangible objects like spirits, entities, luck, magic, etc. Therefore, I'm only selling this as a doll. There's no guarantee of paranormal, supernatural events taking place as a result of purchasing this doll, yada, yada, yada.
Sometimes I'll see these, they'll have like 8 bids on them and they'll go for like a couple hundred.
That's pretty wild. Wow. Oh, no, she's actually sold 105 items.
Okay.
Are they all dolls? Can you see what else she's
All
sold?
dolls.
Okay.
All
That's
dolls.
a lot of dolls.
One doll, one description, I can't remember which one. She said she literally was driving and saw it on the side of the road. And she said she could feel the energy like coming from her. But yeah, she doesn't specify with the other ones where she got them. But one, she was like, I literally got this one off the side of the road. Oh, this was the spirit of Yinka. She had always had it out for me for the moment I found her. And yeah, I found her. She was literally on the side of the road. I drove by her. I could just feel her energy and the need to pull over and get her. I thought she'd be grateful I rescued her, but no, she does not like me. I'd like to give her to someone that will hopefully understand and get along with her. If anyone could get through to her, be my guest. I believe Abigail. I'm just saying I believe
These
her.
descriptions make me believe Abigail.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Now, I would say Yinka didn't want you to take her from where she was, so I'm definitely not wanting to purchase the Yinka doll.
Or the last person threw
doesn't-
her out because she was so mean.
Maybe.
I mean, who throws a doll on the side of the road?
Yeah.
Someone who's trying to get rid of that doll.
That doll would have to be pretty bad.
There was another one she said was mean, and she goes, I'm just saying that she's mean because another doll told me that she was being mean to her.
Gossip!
Oh my god.
And she said, but I don't know. She was like,
Gossip.
take that with a grain of salt. She hasn't been mean to me, but another doll said that.
Maybe that's a new hobby for you, is selling dolls on eBay, and you could call it Chatty Dolls, and you only sell the gossipy haunted ones.
But I don't want haunted dolls. And I don't want I believe that Abigail's dolls are haunted, and I don't want them, you know? I don't want them.
Like I've said before, I'm like,
So-
maybe you get it, you purchase a storage unit and you keep the haunted dolls in the unit.
They're going to be in my car. They're going to have to be delivered to my home at some point. I don't
My
need
take
that.
on all this stuff is always just like, I don't want to find out. Like, just to be safe.
Just in case.
be
Just in
safe.
case.
What about the starter doll that you guys, what about Glenna?
I will accept Glenna into my home.
I'm buying Glenna right now.
Okay,
let's keep her in here.
We'll keep her in the studio because
we'll keep her in here.
Evan's gonna be so mad at me because he gets so scared of this shit. He gets so scared of it.
Didn't he have something happen in here?
Mm-hmm.
We're buying her.
Oh yeah. If Evan walks
Okay.
in to work on the computer and there's a haunted doll on the table, the talking to that's gonna happen when he comes back in the house.
Oh my
gonna
god.
be
Wait,
like-
Glenna's the nice one, right?
Glenna's the nice
I
one.
have an
That's what I'll
idea.
tell
You know how they
him.
do plug something on Chatty Bros? My husband and her husband do Chatty Bros every week, and they do a thing where people send in stuff and they unbox it. Let's have them unbox it
Perfect.
on the show.
very good.
Perfect.
You come in, you'd be like, oh, Evan, like we just got a package for plug something, and like while they're recording.
Oh no. Okay, this
What?
is what we can do.
What?
And broads, let's fully set them up. And I'll be like, Ev, hey, can you open this? And they'll think that they're getting it from someone and they will be so terrified.
They'll think it's
Yep.
like The Watcher.
Oh my God.
Chatty Bros.
And since we just finished watching it, Evan will 1,000% think that it's a neighbor who's been watching us or
this
someone.
is gonna be awesome.
Oh, I'm so happy that you're buying one.
Me too.
But this is the very tame, nice one.
This is the nice one.
Yeah, the one that
Get Wanda while you're there.
I don't
See if they
want
do any like buy one, get one half off.
I don't want
Is there
Wanda.
any BOGO specials or
the
anything?
one that's a
I don't want a
that's
grown man
man.
spirit in my home, please.
Okay, but you don't want Cindy or Clara? I think you need Clara. What if you can keep Clara and you can keep sweet little Glenna together.
Don't separate them.
They said Clara's so peaceful and calming.
If I keep them in here, then we're good too, right? Do they
Yeah.
move? Then will they move throughout my house?
They might. Is
I
there
don't
like a
think
little
so.
doggy door? Or anything?
No,
I don't think
no.
I don't think so.
This is how Chatty Broads ends. my house is just like so severely haunted.
No,
What
these-
if it just becomes the two of them sitting at these microphones doing the show?
Wait, come on. I got to get them both because we have to start out one of the episodes
Chatty
with them.
Bros with Glenna and Wanda.
Jess, if we
the
get these
microphone's
dolls,
just like low. The cameras
Jess.
are like, you just see the top of their heads.
if we get these dolls, I will record an episode sitting with like the doll on my lap.
I will too. I'll hold the doll. You're okay holding the doll?
I'll hold the doll. I want Clara.
All right.
Dibs on Clara. No,
Yeah.
maybe I want Glenna. I want Glenna.
You guys should do it before you have my friend Rachel on because she'll look at it and
Why don't
tell
we
you.
have her on? Yeah, with the doll. Yeah, we'll get them and
Yeah.
we'll have her on and we'll sit with the dolls when she's here.
The last time she was on a couple weeks ago, we did that because she can look at a picture of something and tell you what's going on there.
So we
And,
should send her
Yeah,
pictures
we
of
did
these.
that with Annabelle, like the real Annabelle.
The real Annabelle.
Are you serious? What'd she say?
She was-
What'd she say was going on?
She was like, there's nothing on it right in this picture.
Really?
Like, not to say that there wasn't at one point or whatever.
But she wasn't picking up anything.
According to her, yeah.
Interesting. Well, I'm ordering them both right now. And I'm putting it on my business card. So anyway, that's the doll. That's the haunted dolls. Do you believe in haunted objects? You have some, right?
I do believe, yes. I do believe that it's possible. Almost every episode of my podcast, I do this where I look up at least one doll and we just kind of talk about it. So I'm like, I know a lot about this world at this point. I've talked a lot about it. And I've talked to people. There's Greg and Dana Newkirk. They run the Haunted Museum that has some of the scariest haunted objects, and you should totally check out the Museum.
Oh.
What do you mean scary?
They told a story on my podcast about it wasn't, I don't know if you would call it a haunted doll, but like a doll-like object that so scary. And these people are like top of the field, like amazing researchers of all this stuff, and I completely believe their story, and you should hear it because
Okay.
it's really
Okay.
scary.
Roz, it's been so much fun. Love that this episode ended with me ordering 2 haunted dolls for the
Me
studio.
too.
How fun, right?
I'm gonna
I don't know anyone that has bought one of these, so
I'm gonna make you come visit it. Maybe we
Okay.
can bring it onto your podcast, bring the dolls into your
Sure.
studio.
I'm a little scared. Like, I'm like, am I going to get haunted through my eBay account? Like, by these dolls? Like, I'm a little...
I have a feeling no, but you never know.
Jess, what if you're like, Clara has become such a grounding presence in my life? Like, what if you actually become like obsessed with
You
your haunted
become a doll
dolls?
lady, and then you get a bunch of them.
What if Clara's like a security blanket?
Yeah, no,
for
that's
me?
what I'm saying.
I
Well,
make,
this woman
I make
said
her
she-
sleep in the middle of the bed between Evan and I. It becomes a problem in our marriage. Evan's like, Clara needs to not be in bed tonight, Jess.
You're like, he's like, oh, did you get a babysitter for Ember? And you're like, Clara's got it covered.
Clara's good. Clara, we're leaving $10 for pizza. We'll be back.
I'm leaving a note. Hi, Abigail. So excited to receive the dolls. This is a special surprise for an episode of my podcast. And I'd love to receive a full description and any instructions for the dolls, if possible.
Oh, that's nice. So the boys can then get the description of the dolls while they...
Yeah. So inclined. If you feel so inclined. Thank you. Wow, I'm so excited. That's going to be an amazing episode when they open
You're
these.
going to be so scared.
Cannot wait. All right. Well, Roz, plug away. Where can people find you?
Well, Ghosted by Roz Hernandez.
Yes.
I'm going to be listening on my drive home the
So
entire way.
good.
Yay,
Can't wait.
every Thursday, all year round. And then I'm just like doing a lot of stand-up, mainly in LA. And all that is on my Insta at Roz Hernandez.
Fab.
Roz,
We love you.
it has been such...
This is our final one
I
together.
know. I know.
As we go on.
we remember.
But for real, it has been so so wonderful getting to know you over the years, and we just love you so much.
And I'm never ever gonna talk to either of you again.
and we'll never see each other again.
Until we come on to show our freaking dolls, show and tell our dolls on your podcast.
Please do that. Come on Mine with the Dolls.
We would love to. Can we not be in the frame and it's just the dolls
Yeah,
and we'll be
we'll
talking
speak
for them
through
under
them.
the table?
Yes.
What if we get
that would
so
be
good at this haunted doll thing that we can use them as a vessel? And I'm actually like, I'm like, oh, Jess, instead of voice memoing you, I'll just speak through Glenna.
That would
The
be
podcast-
amazing.
And she's like, do you want to record at 11 or 10?
Oh my God, that scared me. I didn't know that sound could come out of you as you're sitting here with that bikini body.
You know, there's plenty of surprises waiting around the corner. You never know.
Oh my God. I'm not recovering. But anyway, guys, thank you for having
You're
me.
the best.
It's been an honor
We just
getting
love
to do
you.
this 4 years in a row.
I know.
Wow, really?
4 years in a
3.
row.
No, because
No,
last
4.
year I was here. Then the
Then
year
it was
before was
Zoom,
COVID.
and then you came
And the year before
back
was in person.
in person.
Was there another year before that? Yeah, and then there was a year before that.
2020. Yeah.
This is-
No, we started
No,
end
that'd be
of
5,
2018,
so-
but yeah,
So this is the
2019.
fourth.
Yeah, you're right. Oh
The
my God.
fourth.
Holy
oh
cow.
my God.
Well, with that, broads.
So thank you guys for having me and for introducing me to your lovely community.
Thanks, broads.
It's been a real
Thanks, Roz.
honor and pleasure.
With that,
Stay,
chat soon.
stay spooky and chat soon.
Do the voice.
Roz, we love you and chat soon.
Nice.
Ew!